Hello and welcome. You are now looking at youtube.com and you were looking at a whiteboard animated video. And in this course, we're going to be discussing a process for you to be able to create your own whiteboard videos, regardless of which kind of software or particular service that you use. For example, there are some who use the service Powtoon, which creates animated whiteboard videos and presentations. Others use Sparkle, which strictly creates whiteboard videos. Others use sites like GoAnimate, Animatron, and even some use the desktop program TechSmith Camtasia. Others use desktop programs like VideoMaker FX, which is strictly made to create animation videos, as well as Easy Sketch Pro, which is again a program that you would have on your desktop. Now you'll need a couple of tools in order to make this work. You'll need some kind of presentation software, and if you don't have one that you own like PowerPoint, you can use Google Slides as long as you have an internet connection. You'll also need the ability to create and produce audio on your personal computer. If you don't have a microphone or headset, there are very inexpensive options available, such as the Plantronics Audio 355, which plugs into your stereo jack so that you don't have to take up any of your USB ports. Now, although the process is going to be the same for most, if not all, video creators that we're going to take you through in this course, we're going to focus on using Sparkle, which is whiteboard videos. And once again, the process that leads to Sparkle is what you want to focus on, because you will be able to take that process and you'll be able to use it regardless of what your video creator is. We will just focus on using this program so that you'll be able to see, so that you'll be able to determine the steps for your video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we're going to assume that you already have a script and you're looking at a brief script that we have written for an animated video. And as you'll notice that it's not very long, and you'll want to make sure that you have read through the script so you know exactly how long it is. Now the best way to go forward once you have this script is to transfer it onto some kind of presentation software. And you can do that with a program like PowerPoint, or as we said, you can use that with Google Docs using the slide menu. So you want to put one sentence at a time on each slide, and then you can then get ready to begin reading your script. Now, in order to record the script, you are going to need some audio editing software. If you have Camtasia or if you have Audacity, you can then read the script and then edit it to make sure that it meets your specifications. In order to record the script, simply turn on your slideshow presentation, and then you're going to narrate your audio. Now, it's going to be important when you are narrating your animated video that you leave a little gap between the timing of each slide, so that you will then have time to change the scenes of each of your animated videos. So if you think about each line representing one scene, you want to read the script and then pause slightly and then move on to the next slide. For example, here's how we would read this script and here's how we would page through it. And we'll do 3 slides just so that you can see how to appropriately do the timing. Whether a company is operating in good or difficult economic times, they must market strategically. That means that there must be an overall goal as well as a core methodology for the company to follow. Blindly following trends such as mobile marketing or Google Maps without a strategy are unlikely to get you the results that you want from your promotional efforts. So you'll notice we read 3 slides, and you'll notice that in between each slide we pause slightly, and you'll see why this is necessary when we actually go to the timeline. So this is the fastest and easiest way to read your script, to know what you're doing, and to think through it. So whatever your audio creation software is, you can use Camtasia, you can use Audacity, you can use any of the screen sharing programs, and you have to remember, you're going to be creating an MP3 audio or a WAV file. So you don't really have to worry about the quality of the video. The only thing that you have to worry about is the quality of the audio. Now, the easiest way to edit the audio is going to be to use a program like Camtasia. And the reason is that you have a visual timeline. So you can actually record your video in one take. You can note the peaks in the timeline and you can edit it. And then you can produce your audio, which is going to be an MP3. There's an important thing to note here about the use of Camtasia 9 versus Camtasia 8 or even Camtasia 7. And that is that you cannot produce an MP3 file in one step. It's going to take at least two. So if you are looking for a non-complicated way of being able to create and edit your audio in one step, you'll want to use Camtasia 8 in this case, which is the older version of the program versus Camtasia 9. Or you can also use the program Audacity, which will also allow you to record audio. And as you can see, we are recording audio as we speak. Now in the next video, we're going to record the audio and we are going to do it all in one take. And then we're going to come back and we're going to edit the audio. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we're going to narrate the audio and we're going to do this all in one take. And we're going to edit it inside of our video software Camtasia. Now again, you can use whatever video editing software you'd like to use. If you'd like to use Audacity, as long as you can get the file into an MP3 format, you can use it too. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change this to a slide share, and as we narrate the slides, we may make a mistake as we go along. When we make a mistake, we're going to stop and then we're going to clap 3 times so that we will be able to note on the timeline where we are actually making a mistake. The other thing that we're going to do is what we talked about in the last video, which is we are actually going to pause slightly at the end of each slide. Okay, so with that, what we're going to do now is we're going to turn on our slide presentation. And then we're going to start narrating. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually bring the clock here. And then we're going to note the timing also. So let's go back to the beginning. And then we're going to start the narration process. Whether a company is operating in good or difficult economic times, they must market strategically. That means there must be an overall goal as well as a core methodology for the company to follow. Blindly following trends such as mobile marketing or Google Maps without a strategy is unlikely to get you the results that you want from your promotional efforts. How you approach the market is as important as how much traffic you can get to your website. Understanding the nature of your customer and what they desire to buy will always trump even the best search engine marketing strategies. Therefore, what's needed is for you to understand the basic framework for marketing. Whether a company is doing internet marketing or television commercials, there is a certain structure that all successful marketing and promotion fits into. What is that structure? We'll discuss that more in our next video. If you'd like to explore this subject further, please check out the resource link you see on your screen. Okay, so now we have narrated the audio. You've noticed that we have made 2 mistakes. And so what we're going to do in the next video is we're actually going to edit, and we're going to show you how to do that inside of Camtasia. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we're going to edit the audio to get it ready for our video. So we're going to actually import that audio into Camtasia. So we're now going to import the file we just created into Camtasia. Okay, so now that we have the file, we're going to bring it down to our editing timeline. And so you'll notice a couple of things here. You're going to notice that there are some instances where you're going to see on the timeline where there were the 3 claps, and those are the places where we made mistakes. Now what we want to do is we want to go to the place where we started narrating the actual audio. And you'll note that we began right here. So one of the things we're going to do right away is we're going to then just cut out the extraneous audio. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this in the timeline, and we're just going to cut this part out. And then we're going to bring this entire audio back to our timeline. Okay, so now, if you recall, what we have here is we have the two mistakes we made, and then we have the end of our audio, which is going to be about here. Okay, so this is the beginning, and then this is the end. So what we need to do to edit our audio in Camtasia, one thing that we can do is we can take out any background noise. We can do that very easily in Camtasia. And you can do the same thing inside of Audacity also. We're just going to use the noise removal. Whatever the noise removal process is for your particular software, you just want to do a basic noise removal process of whatever background noise is in there. So you pick some area where there's nothing going on, no talking, and then you substitute that area for the rest of the audio. So now that that is done, we're going to go back here to the beginning of the timeline, and the way that you do this to make sure that you really have your audio correct is to do it in real time. So what you would really do is you would actually play the audio. So for example, you would click the play button. Okay, so we know now that that's a mistake, and we've heard the mistake. And that is one of the reasons why you'd want to do this in real time. And so we're going to now take that part of the audio out. Okay, so now all we have is the beginning. Okay, so we can skip forward now to this next mistake. And now you'll understand now that we can see that mistake on our timeline, right? We can see the 3 claps that we put there. So we know we can skip forward to that point. So what we need to do is we need to figure out what the mistake was we made here. Okay, so we're going to stop there. We're going to take that out. Okay, we can skip forward to the end. And then this is just the audio that we had at the end of our last video, so we can take that out. And so now we have audio for our video. And so what we would do is we would go back and we'd listen to this in real time. And we're not going to do that in this video, but that is what you would do. You would go back and listen to the whole thing, make sure it is what you want it to be, and then you would go through the audio production process. Remember, if you're going to use Camtasia, you're going to want to use Camtasia 7 or Camtasia 8. You can use any version of Audacity, but we're going to need to get it into MP3 format in order to do that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to produce this. We're now going to produce this as an MP3, and then we're just going to click the next button. So we're going to do this part off camera. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and save this. Now we're going to save this as an artifact for this course. I'm going to save this as the audio we created in video 3. So we're going to save that, and then we're going to click finish. Now if you have Windows, Windows is going to play that file right away. What you can do is you can open the production folder inside of Camtasia, and then there is your audio. Okay, so we have now created our script. We have now recorded that script and edited it, and now we're ready to go to the next step. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about the basic organization. And when you look at your script, one of the things that you can do to make the process very easy is to determine that each of the slides are going to be a scene in your video. And if that's the case, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to determine some keywords. And so you want to look at each slide. Like for example, you're seeing here that this slide says whether a company is operating in good or bad economic times. you want to determine which of these keywords you're going to try to display with a visual. Are you going to use a picture or are you going to use words? Basically, you're going to be able to use either picture or you're going to be able to use some words in order to display. You want to get a good sense of what that's going to be ahead of time. And there's a reason for that, because we're going to determine the style of the video. And then once we do that, we're going to determine whether or not we have the right assets in order to do this. So the next stage in this process is to determine your keywords. Which of these phrases, which of these words are you going to display with an image? The next thing you want to do is to determine two basic directions of your video. Are you going to have a video that's going to primarily be about things? So in other words, your images that you're going to use to represent your keyword, are you going to use things and words, or are you going to use people and words? And it's easiest to display this with this image of Powtoon. So if you're going to have people and words in your videos, then that's one style of video. If you're going to have words and things, as you're watching here in this RSA video, that's another kind of video. And those are two basic directions that you can go as you determine what you want to display for your keywords, as well as what words you want to put into your video. Now there's a caution about using people in your videos. If you have a wide and diverse audience, you want to make sure that your images and your people are wide and diverse and that they will reflect what the people who are going to be watching your video will want to see. Depending on your video creation software, that can be easy to do. In some cases, that might be difficult to do. When in doubt, you can always use things in order to substitute for the words you're going to be displaying. If for some reason you have some reservations about how people are going to be reacting to what it is you're going to be displaying. So to recap, go through your script, determine keywords. Then determine the basic direction and style of your video so that you can begin looking for both music and or images. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.